Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. And welcome back. This is our first session of Broken Universe, purely RP session, because we were recording this just before the rules for 2nd edition of Pathfinder come out. But it should be fun. We're eagerly anticipating those rules. And the Broken Universe is playing right into the idea of the changing of the laws of the universe. And we will get into that a bit more later. For now, a quick disclaimer. This is an adult podcast that sometimes features certain adults that use adult language. You have been warned.
I was waiting on Kane. I didn't know if we were going to do it.
I was waiting on Tommy.
Like we talked about in the last Around the Hearth.
Are we doing it in synchronous now?
We have to all sync up and sing song it. Remember, we talked about this. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Dad.
Not bad. Not bad. The Pathfinder has spoken. All right. So, first off, that's our disclaimer. And you can start timing me because we're getting into our 5-minute announcements. Patreon for the Interplanar Crossroads and Black Dragon Gaming is going on. The Interplanar Crossroads has a giveaway starting at, we reach $50 a month. We will give away a rulebook of the winner's choice. Second giveaway is going to be at $100 a month, and that will happen for a 2nd edition Pathfinder 2E rulebook. So if you wanted the special edition version of it for your collection, that would be when you would want to do that. We will have that happen at $100 a month, should we reach that. Our current session is, as we discussed, the Broken Universe Session 1, purely RP session. Next subscriber appreciation one-shot is going to happen at 400. That's going to be run by Colin, if everything goes right, and Lord willing. And then our monthly giveaway, I don't know what we're giving away just yet, because we're coming to the end of the month, and I hadn't decided for August yet. So we'll see. We'll see. And that is all of our announcements. So, Tommy, you have anything you want to say before we start?
I'm going to say that's the fastest you've ever done your announcements ever in like the entire history of your channel. I'm not going to mess it up. No, let's get to content.
Okay. Okay. So, with this being a purely RP session, we're going to kind of break it up just a little bit. Malcolm is not quite here yet, so we will have to wait on that. But as we kind of talked about in our session 0, the Interplanar Crossroads is where you guys are, and you are, well, you're at the Interplanar Crossroads, and you've all gotten there at different times, but you seem to have arrived at just the right time every time. The Interplanar Crossroads does not look particularly impressive outside. It is a relatively average-looking inn of, maybe medium size, with an attached stable that is run by Jonathan, the Mew Master. He is a small halfling, looks to be rather young halfling, maybe just into adulthood or just before it. He stables any of the animals that have approached. The inn is mainly composed of stone and wood, and we'll go ahead and transfer you guys over there. There's a little bit, it looks mostly like this, a stone floor with wood as its main building feature otherwise. It has a bit more support beams in the center than what you see on the screen here. And it does have an upstairs that seems to lead to a walkway that goes behind and has rooms up above for those that like to tenant there. There's no one else in the inn right now, as you each seem to arrive. The smell is comforting. It's one of those smells that you're not always able to place, but it always seems to put you at ease. You don't hear any music right now. There are faint clankings from the kitchen, and the conversation between who you've been introduced to, the elven individual behind the counter, as Jenkins. I'll add him for you to your handouts. And he seems to continue speaking with someone in the kitchen. He's mainly greeted each of you by name, even though this seems to be the first time you've come into the Inn of Planar Crossroads, as that was the name on the outside of the shingle that you approached with. The wafting of food seems to hit your nostrils a few moments after you've come in, and it seems to smell delicious. And the air is warm and comforting without being too hot, so there is a fireplace. And overall, the inn just has a very comforting and encouraging, strengthening, and rejuvenating feel to it. As far as who arrives when, the person to arrive first is likely to be Octarion, as he has bumped into, quite conveniently, the Procurer, and has a cursory understanding of this individual who speaks to the rulers of the Anulami Empire, which is the High Elves of this city, and they're on a completely different continent. And you had voiced a desire to the Procurer, as you had stopped into his inn, to be able to go and investigate the area where his father might have come from. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So that seems to have been gone right on plan. In fact, the Procurer, you can't really place his face when you think about him, but while in the inn, you get a pretty clear picture of him, thinking about it and thinking back on it, and yeah, it seemed to just work out just right. Everything seemed to work out perfect to be able to get here. In fact, you were even offered a spot at the inn. Didn't worry about the money. You were able to easily get the amount that was necessary. And you spend one night, and he has announced to you that is said Octarion as he knocked on your door.
Okay. I will get up, open the door, and just kind of look at him.
If you would, please go and sit downstairs at one of the tables. Those that you will be partied with will be arriving soon.
Okay, Octarion will nod and move past him and make his way down the stairs.
Okay. As you do, you close the door of your room and you go on down. The inn was a lot more lively last time you were in. Today, all you did was sleep, but today it's like there's nobody here. You are literally the only person in the room. And Jenkins, of course, knows what you want, and it seems to appear right out of the table. Your favorite drink and your preferred breakfast.
Okay. Octarion will move and get his food and his drink and find some table somewhere in the room that he can see the entire, this floor of the inn from, and sit down and wait.
That is perfectly possible. You begin to nurse your drink as another individual arrives. In fact, two individuals. Coming in from outside is a dwarf and a rather large individual who looks kind of like a big gray half-orc, or maybe even a big gray full-orc. You're not sure.
Okay.
And this would be the entrance of Jarrko and Cashew.
Yeah, I found you again. Cashew probably saw Jarrko. I can't remember which now. He probably saw him like traveling into town, and then like ran to catch up with him.
Okay. We will, for those wanting to make sure they know where they are, this seems to be, you made it to the road after, for those that were there at session 0, after fleeing what was going on at Milcian, and you've made it to the road, and this seems to be where you've come to. This seems to be the only thing on the road at the moment. So that doesn't probably bother Cashew.
No, that's where it's supposed to be.
It's very good to see you, Cashew.
Yeah, I miss Jarrko.
He's gonna give you a big ol' hug. He's gonna shift the drum to one side so he doesn't like fold you in half. But
yes, that is quite all right. He pats him on the buttocks, I guess. That's pretty much where he would reach.
Well, okay, I suppose Cashew's a good deal taller of you, so he's probably squatted all the way down on his heels and like shuffled towards you. Bring it in!
So there is Cashew.
You cannot escape my love.
Listen, what is love? Cashew, no hurt. No. You guys make it in, and you see that you are the only ones here, aside from this other individual in the corner, or well, not in the corner, at one of the tables. As you enter, you hear Jenkins say, "Ah, welcome, Jarrko. Why don't you just come in, sit down, have a seat with Octarion right over there. Cashew, you can too, and your drinks will be right there at the table for you."
Do I know who? We don't know who Jenkins is, do we?
No, we don't.
Nope.
No. Thank you! Pointy blonde man.
Right. Yes. It's all right. Let's.
We only sort of discussed it. I might actually know Octarion.
Yeah, I'm operating in it like all three of us know each other and have traveled for a while together.
Maybe not Jarrko. I kind of left Jarrko's company and then ran into you. I think it was the
other way around. We are so organized.
No, you're correct. I was traveling with Octarion first. He found me first, wandering around the woods.
Probably near the Anulimi Empire.
Wherever I stumbled out of the Feywild.
One of those whoopsie portals Kane is so fond of.
I hate whoopsie portal.
I'm walking along and it's all like, whoopsie.
1 minute you're in the woods, the next minute you're still in the woods, but you're in someone else's woods. And it's a whole thing.
So, fancy meeting you here, Octar.
Octarion will stand up as he sees these two approaching the table and go to like shake Jarrko's hand, simultaneously bracing his body for what he's expecting to come from Cashew.
Oh yeah, just off to your flank and comes a big old gray hug.
Cause you miss Octar as well.
Octarion also miss Cashew. How have you been, Jarrko?
It has been quite a while. This is quite the establishment, I have to say.
It is. Octarion's gonna like try to squeeze out of the death grip he's found himself in and make his way back to his seat and like motion at the table at you guys and continue eating.
Oh, that looks good. What is it?
What would it be? That's a good question. Probably a lot of meat, a lot of bacon and sausage, and just my inner Ron Swanson coming out on this table, basically.
Bacon wrapped
all
bacon.
the bacon and eggs they have.
I figure you probably eat a lot of like wild greens and meat fried in bear fat.
Yeah. Or like try to make that and botch it horribly.
I think you might get a heart attack if you eat that too often.
It's okay. This Cashew can cook.
This Cashew can cook.
All right. You have gotten up, and you guys are able to finish your meal before the next to arrive. as you are pretty much finishing up and you are about to ask for perhaps another round or something else to go along with your meal, two ladies are led in by Jonathan, who says, there you go, ladies. You just ride in there, and it's that's Jenkins, and over there, those are. Let me see. That's Cashew, and then that's Octarion, and then that's Jarrko, right there, and he likes it when you do the Oz. He prefers that, but most people just call him Jarrko or Jarrko. It's all up to you. So that's that. I'm gonna go back to the mule. He says. He just walks back there.
Jalurie, she's probably she's got some little spots of dirt on her outfit, but for those of you who know what she was just doing before walking in here, it's a little bit cleaner than you would expect, as she sort of prestidigitated a little bit before walking in.
Okay.
Speaking of walking,
but there's still a little bit here and there that she missed.
Okay.
Tibelda's probably looking around the room, trying to observe everything. It's probably a bit nicer of an establishment than she's ever been in before.
So as these two come in, Octarion is going to look at Cashew. He's not going to say anything, but Jarrko, got to get those R's in there, would probably have seen Cashew do his minor divinations at some point, and Octarion believes them to be actual divinations, whether or not they are. And with new people coming in, Octarion's going to wait and see.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make dice come down at some point this session.
Yeah, Jalurie is looking around, but she seems... I don't know. She seems a little bit uncomfortable, despite this being a very welcoming place.
Okay.
She's just sort of looking around to see. She's sort of eyeing Jenkins, looking him head to toe, see if she recognizes him from anywhere.
As you look over to him, he says, "Oh, howdy, ladies. Your drinks are waiting for you on the table, and I believe they're the ones you ordered last time you were in. Jalurie, yours is over there, and Tibelda, yours is also at the table."
Tibelda finds that mildly suspicious, but goes to the table anyway.
Yeah, Jalurie goes to the table. She eyes the drink, looks at it. She knows exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
She takes
It's the favorite one.
Yeah, she takes a small sip. Tastes to make sure that it's made right. Then she looks over at Jenkins. Goes, Zeffy sent you, didn't she?
Who, dear?
Zeffy. Oh, come on. No one else knows how to make my drink the right way.
He just smiles and tilts his head and says, "Oh, no, dear. That's how I make it for you every time." And he looks back into the back. "Hey, is there food ready yet?" "I am doing it. Why do you interrupt my work?" Said it comes from the kitchen.
My art!
"What art? It cannot be rushed. This is a..." He rolls it. He pushes the doors open. "This is a time. Da 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 da." It trails off. You can't quite catch what he says as he goes into the kitchen. But he goes into the kitchen, and you hear him talking with somebody. The most you hear is like, "Dang it, Calcifer, there's people waiting out there. We're supposed to be more timely than this." And this Calcifer person says, "Well, didn't you say that this was a time?" So, before Jenkins comes back out, the food appears right where Tibelda's and Jalurie's drinks were. And it is actually what you just had in mind, like what would hit the spot right now after running from such an experience as you have.
It's definitely not strawberries and cream.
No. For those not in on the joke, go back and watch Shadow over Milcian.
Go all the way back.
Yeah, go to Strange Events at Milcian and Shadow over Milcian will give you understanding of what's going on.
So, Jalurie's meal probably looks a lot like Octarion's.
Just
Lots
all
of
bacon,
bacon, eggs, sausage. Her eggs are probably over easy, and she's got a little bit of toast to like wipe it up. Wipe up the yolk afterwards.
Now I am hungry.
And another interesting note is corned beef hash on the side.
Now I am more hungry.
More hungry. The
Corn.
maple bacon.
Yeah. So she is oddly enough not drinking as much as Tibelda would expect. But she's more interested in eating the food. Her drink is just sort of sitting there. She hasn't touched it since that first couple sips.
Okay.
Tibelda,
I
on
will
the other
say that-
hand, is really skeptical of the food that's just appeared in front of her. She kind of like takes one of the skewers and looks around and is like, I'm good. We're good.
Okay.
Is everybody else's food arriving?
Yes, you guys had eaten most of your food.
Yeah,
they
we had
ordered-
seconds.
I didn't get to describe what Cashew was eating. It's disgusting.
Well, what does Cashew get as his second order?
Cashew grew up in around strange folk. That's all I'll say. Around some strange people, and he hasn't necessarily expanded his palate. So his time around here, he's been sort of like eating whatever he can get his hands on to try all the new flavors. And right now he's trying out one of his favorites, or actually he's trying out two of his favorites, and he's just putting them together. So out comes this big plate full of mussels and haggis. With just like fried onions sprinkled on top.
Now I am less hungry.
This big goblet of mulberry wine on the side, and he's just like fistfuls of it. Just
I think everybody visibly kind of moves away from Cashew as he eats.
Yeah.
Cashew's got some of the highest charisma in the party. It's great. It's
Yeah, you're
the most
right.
amazing thing you've ever seen.
It's
Charisma's-
gross, but I make it look good.
Charisma is about strength of personality, not necessarily about how attractive or good you make things look.
Strength of personality makes attractiveness.
Well,
All right.
Speaking of Cashew, did Cashew ever get a divination on the new people?
Jalurie is
Hold on, I
completely
gotta balance
unfazed.
3 toonies on top of each other before I flip them. Oh shit!
That's
I think
three.
Tibelda-
That's 3 heads.
Very
That's good.
sign.
That's real good. I like them already. I don't even know who they are. I was gonna roll dice, but coins seemed more appropriate.
3 at a time. All right.
Hey man,
So
you
yeah,
gotta get it best 2 out of 3. 2 heads and 1 tail would have been like, they're good, but I don't know. But that was 3 heads. They're great. They're my new favorite people. I like them more than you.
you only got 2 heads.
Jalurie is eating almost as ravenously as Cashew. Not quite. She's still using silverware, but she's just sort of like piling stuff in, hardly stopping to chew.
Jarrko only got 1 head, but he's nice.
All right. So
You only need 1 head.
Tell that to Uncle Pistachio.
Is that his mutation? That second head.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like a 2-headed ogre, but like a little tiny Eaton.
I take it you all are introducing yourselves.
I take it you're herding us that direction.
What's everyone look like?
Don't everyone jump at once.
All right, fine. I'll go first. Cashew's a very big boy. Yeah, he's like almost maybe like 7 feet tall. He's definitely 7 feet tall, maybe even bigger. Hold on, let me open up my own notes.
Yeah, his character sheet says. His character sheet says
I specifically looked up what the maximum height you could be while still being medium, and apparently it's like 8.5 feet tall. The Cashew is straight up just gigantic. It's probably like something like 600 pounds. He's a lot of like he's kind of looks like a refrigerator with arms. He's got sort of like this broad, flat nose and this heavy, thick, like simian brow. Sort of hangs just over his eyeballs. He's got these 2 little thumb-like tusks come out of the front of his mouth, and he's got like some slicked back, really dark hair, and his hairline's like real far back on his head. He's got a lot of forehead going on. He's got a little billboard situation, and he's got some real thick mutton chops come about halfway down his cheeks and everything, and they're just like. Pff. And he's got he's probably not wearing a shirt right now, to be perfectly honest with you. And he's
just
got
covered in haggis.
Yeah, no, he's covered in haggis and some muscles and like Italian porn star levels of chest hair. He's got these big slab-like pectorals and these big biceps, but he's also got like a big fat belly. He's got a paunch on him. And I'm gonna drop the voice for a second. He's got this this like gray sort of mottled skin, so you can tell there's a little like the patchy modeling pattern. It plays sort of all over his body. The only really, aside from him being gray and enormous, the thing that really stands out is probably his eye color. It's a very vibrant, like emerald, almost metallic green.
So that is Cashew Nutt sitting at the table with Jalurie.
Not with 2 T's.
With 2 T's. That's all I know how to spell. Just
Jalurie is she's 5'5". She's got sort of a very dark brown hair. She's a half elf, so her ears are somewhat pointed. And she's got blue eyes, although she tends to wear sort of like white and blue type outfit. Like I have a picture here that I'm actually basing this off of somewhat. She's a bit older, probably 22-ish. And
I was just remarking that it's old.
A bit older, 22.
Older than everyone in this chat.
No, older than the picture I have.
No.
Okay, older in relative nature to the picture. Okay.
Yes. Like I said, she's got a little bit of dirt on her, probably a bit more now that she's eating quite rapidly. Anything gets on her, she sort of takes a little bit of a napkin, picks it off, sets it back down. Although she's still sort of looking at the bartender, expecting him to say something. Not really sure what to make of this place yet. And she has not really formally introduced herself. She's too focused on the food.
Okie dokie. I will say that it's not you guys are the only ones in the room, so hearing their names beforehand, you know Jalurie. Jalurie's name.
Jalurie.
It's Jello.
It's Jello.
It's Jello.
You know Jello Shot's name.
That's salami.
But
Tabitha.
Also, there is Jarrko.
Yes, it's Jarrko. Jarrko Hewitt. He's a dwarf. He's with this nice, like, white, blondish beard. It's like braided into multiple braids. It goes down almost to his belly button. And he's like properly built, with some like blue face paint just around the eyes, and lots of like pelts and tusks adorning his clothing. And he seems to be wearing like proper like adventuring clothing, like really like good quality stuff.
Good quality adventuring clothing.
Yeah.
He spent the like 200 gold necessary to have the really nice clothes.
All right.
Silver in this world.
Silver? Yeah. Would have to be silver, wouldn't it? Jarrko glances up, and he also sees another dwarf start to stumble in. And
Yeah, but he's not at the keyboard. It's
not at the
AFK.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Dang, Malcolm. That was a perfect transition.
It was amazing.
All right.
Amazing! Had to get the magpie in there. Just once.
Yeah, we'll have
He's up in the rafters. Don't look up.
Not that you can see him anyways.
Nope. Or
All right,
smell
so
him.
We'll rewind that. That means where Jarrko looks over at Octarion, who he knows, who has been satisfied by the 3 heads. And what does Octarion look like?
Octarion looks like a pretty averagely built human, somewhere in the upper reaches of 5 feet tall, but a little like on the lanky side. His eyes are a little almond shaped, but not to like imply like a not human ancestry, but more to imply his father's. Adam, I'm brain farting the name of the culture that you had said, the Mongol equivalent.
The Mongol equivalent? Well, there are several.
The ones that from the snow that were closer, and one rode a purple worm. It's been a busy week.
The horse lords, yeah.
Yeah.
Those horse lords up above. They were, let me make sure.
The horse lords up above. Very famous.
I will have
I hear
it
they're
for
going
you.
on tour again this year.
So
Dang
much,
it, I was gonna make that joke.
so much better than the horse lords down below.
Right.
Depends on
I would
you.
watch a power metal band called the Horse Lords up above.
Yeah, right?
All right. Well, those guys. Those dudes.
Guys. Those dudes. Like one of those dudes. And he's dressed in his full war gear, which I can't really comment on because I don't have a character sheet. And I'm not sure exactly what my my weapon loadout is going to look like right now. But somewhere there's certainly... I think it has to be a short bow in 2nd edition from what I've read to be able to use it on horseback / like up close. So there's a short bow slung over his back and his shield and some kind of melee weapon, maybe a mace, maybe a scimitar, we'll see. And just full lamellar armor, his helmet still sitting over his head, quietly eating his food. Now that Cashew has okayed these guys, and if we see this other dwarf showing up, I'm going to look back at Cashew just quietly eating his food. He probably eats quite a bit, but he doesn't necessarily like Goku it. He doesn't just eat it all.
Okay. You guys had me freaking out. I thought I gave you a name, but I don't see a name in the past conversation
did.
with the horse lords. No.
I
So
remember you guys talking about the Horse Lords. I don't know if you necessarily gave him a name.
I didn't do a name drop. See, so I am safe. Thank you very much.
You did it. Hooray.
You want me to consult the coins again?
I do.
All right, but my hands are covered in muscle grease. Oh crap! Every time. Oh, only one head. I don't know.
So then Octarion's hand will go down to his melee weapon as he looks over at the dwarf.
He could be shifty.
All right. That'll give us a chance to introduce the dwarf that was away from his keyboard a moment ago.
The wandering dwarf. The chaotic neutral dwarf.
He stumbles in to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, this wonderful little inn.
Kind of gives a skeptic look around, and he's trying not to put off that he's as confused as he is about why he's here. And he just kind of, puts on this air of professionalism, and he thumps up, and he's sort of this little hardy-looking guy. He's got this, darkened half plate, and, a big old axe slung over his shoulder. And he's an older-looking guy, too. He's got a bit of a graying widow's peak going and a kind of a big gray beard. And he just kind of saunters on over and looks around. Is there a free seat within? Like, what's the closest one that he can use to get out of the thoroughfare here? So,
Okay.
I feel like I'm sitting in the lunchroom now trying to find, where's the table all the nerds are at.
Well,
That's all of them here at the inn of Planar Crossroads.
It's one, yeah. Where the jocks sit here.
Yeah.
so you stumble in and you start looking around for your spot, and you look over, and the elf behind the counter says, howdy, Mulgren. It's good to see you back. Your drink will be at that table over there with them. The Procurer will be down to talk to y'all in a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, sure. You all right? Yeah, nice to see you too. He saunters over and he pulls back a chair and he sits down and goes, Urch! He's kind of just giving a hard look at all of you. He's got a little charm of Droskar on him. And he's just kind of got that slung right there. Right?
Okay.
Droskar is whom?
The evil one.
The master of the dark furnace is the best.
The evil one.
Yeah.
You're a good
I think
guy.
notably neutral evil. This guy's more neutral himself, but he carries a culture of power about him, and he's quite fond of this rather frowned upon occasionally deity.
Okay. I will say that Jarrko does recognize that symbol. So that's that.
Yeah, he kind of, shoulders Cashew. I think that head might be wrong. I think it's 3 tails on this one.
I don't know, man. The coins are never wrong.
It could be.
Jalurie is
Could be the
sort of
grease.
looking at this.
Maybe I'm not accounting for the muscle grease. There's a lot of haggis underneath my fingernails, too.
That should be far grosser than I'm thinking it is. Ooh.
Pointy blonde man, can I get a toothpick? And a
Sure
toothbrush?
thing.
And a regular brush?
There's a washroom right beside your table there, through the door.
No, I can do it here.
Oh,
There's a washroom right behind your table there.
Are you
the
sure?
door.
Really, here is fine.
There's a washroom
All right,
right
fine.
behind the table there.
Cashew gets up from his own chair and goes to the washroom.
His belly kind of bumps the table as he gets up.
Everyone's food is disturbed horribly.
Not horribly.
Jalurie sort of catches her drink as it almost spills. She looks over at the dwarf. She looks at Cashew walking away. Then she looks back at Tibelda and goes, I'm going to need this drink. She takes a big swig of it.
Cashew can hear you. That's very rude.
Probably can. All right. But that's Mulgren. And how has Tibelda, what does she look like, and how has she thought about these individuals as she's seen them come in?
So Tibelda's taller and brawnier for a human, like 5'10", and she's covered in really thick pelts and hides. She's got really dark, coarse black hair that she keeps braided and back sort of out of her face. And she's been eyeing the whole inn since she got here. She can't stop looking around, especially after the magic food appeared in front of her. She's very suspicious. And she keeps eyeing her food. She's like, well, everyone else seems to be doing fine, but I don't know if I trust it. And she's sort of doing her best to follow Jalurie's lead in terms of how to act in a situation like this.
Okie dokie.
Jalurie sort of looks to Tibelda. Don't worry, if there's anyone at this place who's interested in us, it's probably has to do with the Church of Caden. I ran off. They're probably looking for me. That's the only reason I'm eyeing everyone right now, trying to figure it out. And their lips are sort of getting looser as she takes more drinks.
Classic Colin.
They're probably, it just gets louder and looser all the time. Yeah, they're probably mad that I left, and it's like, it was really bad. We went from bad terms.
She's not quite there yet. This is only her first drink.
Yeah, she can probably drink pretty well, having grown up in Caden's church.
Yep.
She uses her charisma rather than her constitution to determine how many drinks it takes to make her get drunk. Make it happen, Adam. You got to do it. That was good.
We'll see. We'll see.
I guess we don't even have a rule book yet, unless we're in Sweden.
True.
Alex, what's your excuse? People in Sweden have a book.
Oh, there's a lot of people that has it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like all over the. It's not just here.
I wonder. I'm gonna drive back to my dad's house after this, see if there are books in. It might be.
Yeah, some bookstores are
Make
already
laps
selling
every
them.
day.
So, what directions are you coming from, all of you?
Directions.
Oh, you
I don't
know.
think any of this place has any logical direction to it.
Well.
South.
Oh,
I
south.
came from the south.
How far down?
Riverhaven. Around there. How far north have you come from?
Oh, no, I am not coming from the north.
Oh. I just assumed.
Right.
So, what direction do you come from?
Oh, a bit south. More,
South.
more west and south. Yes.
Southwest. Like Riverhaven.
Pretty much.
He gets drinking.
Right. Okay. That was weird.
See, I told you one HUD is better than not. You are bonding.
I told you there was degrees. Did it? It's supposed to be no.
He's the best one creature at this table other than me.
Oh, don't be so quick to judge. Right. So you two, ladies, how did you find your way here?
I feel like mostly I was just led here.
Cashew feels like that a lot.
I feel like I just missed something.
You did.
Yeah.
I see Alex starting this off and Colin's not at his seat.
Jarrko's talking to you and Tibelda.
Yeah, that's how we got here.
Ah, gotcha. I thought he was talking to everyone at the table. Sorry, that was my bad. I'd rather not talk about it. It was a very eventful day. Not the best of days, but an eventful one.
I see. So
I would like to mention really quick that Cashew's come back from the bathroom and he's clearly like rummaged through a first aid kit or something for like a tiny pair of scissors because his nails are trimmed now.
Trimmed.
He found some shears in there.
Hey man, if you never cut your nails with scissors before, you're not. You don't care about yourself enough.
I guess I don't. Woe is me.
Well, you do that. You are able to find I guess that Jonathan.
I'm assuming nail clippers aren't
in there. No, Jonathan must have left some shears in there because I found them in the book.
Hey, it works. So
you doing it at the table?
No, he's not doing it at the table. I imagine that there's like a mirror with a chip out of it now from one of Cashew's fucking nail ricochets.
There's just nail clippings all over everyone's food, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm done.
Stomach shrapnel.
So, which direction are you coming from? Yellow, was it?
Are you talking to me?
Right.
Jalurie is the name.
It's close enough.
Elf.
Whatever, Jarrko.
Oh God.
No.
You'll get the hang of it eventually.
Jalurie looks out the window, and she sees this, but or may see this. I don't know about the others, but she points in the direction of Milcian. And she goes, you know that place where the giant shadow is hovering over there? That's where I'm from, at least most recently. I don't know. It's been a long day.
Oh, did you do that?
Actually, you guys, no one else would know at the table aside from. Oh yes.
No, we
know.
went there.
And yeah, you would know. Cashew would know, and the two ladies would know that there's a shadow over Milcian right now. But no one else does.
Did I do that?
Right.
I don't think I'd know how to do that if I wanted to.
It's probably for the best. It doesn't look very pleasant.
That was something. I don't know what that was, but it was something. It was some. Did you see the crazy old lady?
No, we didn't meet anyone, did we, Cashew?
No? Well, I mean, unless you count the old man with the fish, and the other old man, he didn't have fish though. He was selling chairs on the road, which seemed very strange to Cashew. Who needs chairs on the road? You just sit on a log.
Right.
Got a point.
Never mind then.
But you were there, like, up close? Both of you? Or just, Yellow?
Jalurie.
Right.
So, I'm curious as to where Tibelda was when all this happened. Like, was she right by Jalurie's side, witnessing stuff? Or was she going off and enjoying the festival before stuff went south? And they just sort of met up back along down the road?
That's a good question. We never really figured that out.
No.
Well, you traveled together to get there, you guys said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
to get there.
it could be either way.
Yeah.
I think it'd make the most sense for Tibelda to stick with Jalurie. That way she's got to kind of like show her around and stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah. We were there. Wasn't fun. Supposed to be fun, but it wasn't fun. I went to visit my grandma.
Oh. Was she a downer?
If you consider sacrificing small children a downer, then yes.
Never really been, like, I've never associated it with, like, a fun time. So, yes. I think I would say so. A downer.
Then yes, she's a downer.
Cashew's just like blinking.
What?
Jalurie's looking at her first drink, which is now empty. And she looks at Tibelda and goes, huh. Well, look, I haven't managed managed to finish my first drink without it going bad in a while. This is gonna be, well, not a good day, but well, still probably a pretty crappy, awful, horrible day, but just less crappy and awful and horrible, just slightly.
More rounds for the pessimist.
I'll kind of pat Jalurie on the shoulder, and she's just like, "Yeah, life is hard, and then you die."
And then it gets real fun.
Cashew, not sure what that means, but I'm excited.
Jalurie is laughing.
Which holds up a world.
Mulgren is definitely drinking actual Red Bull.
Probably. He's just a string of vodka Red Bulls, and his eyes are slowly drifting further apart as he goes.
All right.
I suppose that's one of the few things that Kate and Killian's church is good for, is the booze. It makes things a little bit easier to deal with sometimes, but the stupid people in the church, they drink too much, and she's stammering a little bit at this point.
Tibelda's like bracing her to make sure she doesn't fall off the chair.
Yes, but
A voice.
But you know, Jello, it is always a possibility that it gets better in the day. And I think this is a pretty good place.
A voice says, "I appreciate the compliment." As you guys turn, behind Cashew has appeared an individual with green robes.
So we can't see him then.
I was gonna say, the perfect reveal is behind Cashew every time.
Oh, something's gonna happen. Cashew can feel it in his butt.
Behold, the kingdom at the end of the world. It's just Cashew standing in the way every time.
Cashew, move! Oh, sorry.
I'm pretty sure that's probably going to become a thing. We'll just have to
The
see.
struggles of being an agent of fate.
You guys always stand so far away. Like,
So this robed individual says, "A compliment is appreciated. Have you all finished your meal?"
Who are you? Did someone from the accidental church send you? Who runs this place? Is that you?
I think we might need some biscuits for this one. So can
Jarrko, can churches be accidental?
I suppose.
I don't think so.
Or did she say occidental? Because then I have other questions.
Cashew doesn't know what that means.
I don't know what that word means.
He says, "No, but you needn't worry, Jalurie. We have already sent correspondence which have arrived today that you are currently in the employ of a reputable individual, so the church will not be seeking you out too fervently."
How many drinks have I had? Did I get a job without knowing it? What a day.
That also happened to Cashew all the time.
Nobody who has ever employed me has ever been remotely described as reputable.
Well,
Or
perhaps
sober.
this will be a first.
Great.
If you are finished with your meals, please come with me upstairs. And I do apologize, Jalurie, but I will need you sober. And your inebriation seems to fade rather quickly.
That is a pretty good
The
drink.
inn of Planar Buzzkills.
He just de-drunked the knife here. I'm coming, God man. Gets up and storms up the stairs.
Jalurie looks at him, then looks at Tibelda and goes, "He's got to work for Caden somehow. I don't know how, but that was weird."
You're really paranoid.
Don't take your buzz away.
Oh, why does Caden spoil my drinks half the time? Who knows?
You hear a voice from in front on the top of the balcony now say, "Because you constantly badmouth his church."
I think that could explain it.
Jalurie sort of shuts up and she's visibly disgruntled here.
Bella's just like, come on, let's just follow the creepy magic man.
2 heads could be good.
You've got 2 heads for him.
That's all I need. Octarion will begin making his way up the stairs.
Cashew, be careful in the staircase.
Don't break any of them.
Why? Do you think the tail is going to mean that I'm going to fall down the... Ah!
Yes.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, we do have to break up the dice. We've done it.
He falls on the back of. He falls on Mulgren as on his way down the stairs.
Cashew is very top heavy.
Well, I suppose if he wanted to kill us, he would have done it already. Let's go. Jalurie will follow him.
Jarrko will help getting Cashew off Mulgren. So he
Mulgren, what's your armor like?
How particularly spiky is the neutral evil dwarf god?
It's not the most spiky. You could probably get around it. Forward!
Like a forklift by himself, just like power lifts Cashew off of him.
He probably can. So you do that. Everybody eventually makes it up the stairs.
Yay!
Yeah, you made it up.
What an accomplishment.
Climbing!
Yeah, stairs are the devil's freaking invention.
My feet are always too big for the steps.
Yes, and you get all confused when you can see down between the stairs and you can see the ground under, and it's really difficult for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, like that slat stairs where it's just the boards. His feet definitely like slide all the way under the stair right above it, and that's what he just.
He gets caught up behind, and you go back, and he's halfway caught between the stairs, just screaming for help.
Mama Nut!
Cashew is in great peril.
So, you guys go up, and you are greeted by the Procurer. He's just waiting there for everyone once everybody's up. You see him, Octarion, oddly enough, he goes to your door, and he opens it up, and it doesn't lead to your room. It leads to what looks to be a comfortably sized study with a large picture window behind the desk.
Okay. Do I comprehend the nature of what's happening?
The stories that you've heard whispered about this place, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary for the stories, but they were just that. They were stories. They weren't something that you thought was like, hey, that's going to happen. Because it seems pretty much like a normal inn, except for the whole magic food stuff.
Sure.
Nice digs, Greenie.
Cashew gave him 2 hits. That's good enough for me. Octarion will walk in and find a place to sit.
I already spent that tail falling down the stairs. That hurt real bad. Cashew gonna have a bruise.
All right. I assume everyone enters in and we close up the door and all that.
We're all just going into the same room?
It's a large room. It comes into a large study.
Well, I'm not worried about personal space. I'm just clarifying.
Mulgren's looking at everything. He's touching everything too.
You come. The Procurer seems to walk to his desk and let people touch what they want to touch, but as you come to an orb, the Procurer says, "I wouldn't touch that if I were you, Mulgren."
Oh, okay.
Now we're all very fortunate that he did not choose to re-roll Waco.
Because Waco would have touched you.
Waco, this guy wants to get paid. Waco just wants to destroy everything.
Yeah.
So, everybody comes in. There seems to be just enough seats for everyone. And even one that seems appropriately sized for Cashew.
Oh, no way! No one ever has chairs for me!
Mulgren jumps on the giant chair.
No!
Like when a cat takes a dog's bed.
Clearly for the most important one here.
Mulgren is secretly a cat and catfolk in disguise. Just does everything.
Cat
jerk. Knocks stuff off.
Cashew gets his feet into Mulgren's chair and like sits on top of the chair back.
All right.
He's got his arms folded up in front of him like he's pouting.
It's not the size of the chair that defines its importance.
Just its comfort. Let's talk business.
Yeah, just do the thing before I get a splinter in my butt.
Yeah. What is this job? I don't remember getting hired for anything. I don't think I was quite that drunk.
Says you.
No. I do not make deals while the other parties are inebriated. It makes for bad business.
Jalurie sort of smiles hearing this. So what's the orb thingy that we're not supposed to touch?
It is a containment device. Nothing necessarily important for you at the moment.
Just curious. So what's up? What's the deal?
Well, to be honest and upfront, the universe is the deal. I, as some of you may have known, coming here, am called the Procurer. I believe I have already met Cashew and Octarion.
Cashew's definitely like still rolling the word universe around in his mouth.
Universe.
Octarion remembers chasing the green wolf out of the forest from whence he came and is just really quiet now.
I'm not sure that's a real word.
I'll pat Cashew twice on the shoulder.
As the talking goes on, the Cashew seems to get more and more comfortable in his chair, and it seems to be sizing up for him.
My butt!
To be quite honest, there are, to be upfront, there are many things happening in the wider spaces that need attention. I look for individuals that are able to make a difference in those areas that, and he turns to Cashew with this, fate seems to favor.
Ooh.
And I encourage them down specific paths to ensure the best outcome. Now, I understand if no one would like to participate in this, but I will say that it can be quite lucrative for those interested in coin. and quite enlightening for those interested in knowledge.
Tibelda kind of crosses her arms and she's like, but what are we doing, though?
This job, this particular procurement, is that of a container.
But like Tupperware? I don't think universe is the real word, but I know what Tupperware is.
Yeah. He just looks at Cashew and says, "We have spoken about crossing the streams, Cashew."
What? Mama Nutt keeps casserole in Tupperware all the time.
Now, you have a very nice establishment, but can you kind of show us the kind of pull that you have?
Well, he looks behind you. He looks at you and says, "What do you see out the window?" And he's actually sitting at his desk with his back to the window. And you guys didn't necessarily notice it before, but you guys came in. The two ladies came in when it was starting to be night. The Octarion, it was daytime when he woke up, he assumed. Cashew and Jarrko also came in when it was almost night. It's day now outside. Not only is it day behind him, but there are unfamiliar mountains behind him.
Whoa!
Is that some sort of illusionary painting you have there?
You're welcome. You are welcome to open the window and find out.
Cashew
More of an
definitely does.
hallucinatory tavern.
He's the first one on that window.
Okay. You open the window, Cashew, one of the smaller windows. These are straight up windows with a slight point at the top. And there's 3 of them, the larger one in the center, and then 2 smaller ones. You open one of the smaller ones. And you feel a warm spring breeze come in. And it's not springtime. In fact, it is getting closer to fall time in Kelagoth. Not only that, but you smell the wonderful blooming flowers. Different scents that you don't normally smell in this area. You can almost taste the honey as the honeysuckle smell wafts in.
I almost want to say, what does bardic knowledge tell me?
You know that even before this, you have kind of hopscotched around and met the Procurer on more than one occasion in that sense. So, and you've heard Mama Nutt talk about him occasionally and some of your brothers. So this is probably a place still on the material plane, but not here in Kelagoth.
We are nowhere familiar.
So where are we?
Well, I don't know.
Where are we now?
Jalurie cocks an eyebrow.
We are
South?
where we choose to be, or more specifically, where I choose us to be.
Is it possible that Cashew knows the Procurer by, like, a name that Mama Nutt would use for him?
Mama Nutt would call him something closer. Instead of the Procurer, she would probably call him, let me see. She's not particularly bonded to particular.
I would have suggested Domovoy, because it literally means green man.
That's pretty close. She doesn't have a specific name for him aside from that, because that's what he's always wearing. He's always wearing a green cloak. So that's probably the best
Green
name for him.
Narcos.
Cashew know you! Cashew know you from before! Mama Nutt call you Domovoy!
I have had that name before, yes. Or at least others have called me it. Mama Nutt, as well as others. Do close the window, Cashew, so that I may demonstrate for your dwarven friend, Jarrko. the power that he asked to have demonstrated.
All right, yeah, Cashew closes the window.
You may want to sit down, and outside the
I was
window...
gonna say, I don't know, Cashew pretty big, he's pretty straight,
But I did just literally fall down the stairs. So I guess Cashew will sit down.
He, the Procurer just sits there, fingertips on fingertips. And as he does, you guys see that image moves away. As best as you can describe it, it seems to fly off into the distance at an incredible speed. So much so that it kind of gives you vertigo for a second as you go, whoa. And it stops in stars. Stops in nothing but stars outside.
You have displayed, you have some...
opening the window now.
Unless you have that legendary skill feat that lets you survive in the void of space, because that is a thing in 2nd edition.
Whoa. So what is in the container?
It is not what is in the container that I am interested in. It is the container itself.
What? Why?
It's a fancy box.
I can get any kind of box for you.
Yeah, but you use, and like Cashew is fascinated by this teleportation magic, so he's like running back to the window to open it and shove his head out the window again.
You use different boxes to hold different things. Can't put water in a paper box.
That's a good point.
As you open it,
The best last words ever.
you
Yeah,
feel
my head is ripped from my body.
You feel the.
That's not how vacuum works.
You feel.
I mean, I've seen Total
yourself-
Recall. His eyes will.
No, that's bullshit.
You feel like you're starting to be pulled out into the stars, and it's not a very comfortable feeling, Cashew. But
I don't like that.
I don't like dying in a vacuum all alone.
I thought we were there already. I misread the situation.
as you are saying that, and stuff starts to pick up and move out of the room, immediately, out of presumptively nowhere, another Procurer is there, and he simply puts his hand onto Cashew, pulls him back, and closes the window.
Wait, another one? As in there's two right here?
Duplicated.
Copy paste.
And then he seems to nod to him, and it occurs to you that he did not appear out of nowhere. He seemed to descend down, because now he ascends back up into, as you guys look up, ceiling, rather undefinable height that is populated by figures flying back and forth, looking over books, taking items off shelves and moving them around.
Ooh.
Tibelda's face is just like, nope, nope, nope.
Oh, all right. I see that you have some very mighty, how should I put it, displays for you there. I assume that you have coin and contacts as well, so I will stop asking.
That is fine. Back to business. I simply desire for you to find the container.
And let's say we get this container and bring it back. You've talked about coin, you've talked about knowledge and enlightenment. What? I mean, coin's one thing. Coin is coin, but not all knowledge is the same knowledge. What kind of knowledge are we talking about here?
I assume that would depend on what you wanted to learn. Perhaps someone wants to learn arcane abilities. Perhaps another wishes to understand something as simple as where they came from. Perhaps another wishes to gain the wealth necessary to protect a kingdom.
You can't
Perhaps.
literally bury yourself alive in knowledge. Coin will be fine.
Very well.
Jalurie sort of cocks an eyebrow when he's talking about understanding where you came from.
So, about this container.
Yes.
How are we supposed to find it?
You will need to seek out the container. In the last it was spotted was Ox Rock.
Ooh.
If you believe that it may have moved since then, you may choose to go somewhere else.
How will we know the container when we see it? What does it look like?
To my understanding, it was disguised as a average-looking container or chest.
Oh, I know where this is going. I think. I don't know. I'm staying out of it. Right, my brain's going.
Well,
Last time I was in Oxrock playing another character, it was very interesting. There's a very interesting chest there that we came across.
I was thinking that too. I was like,
Oh no.
what's the coolest container in Oxrock? Oh, I know.
I know. Yeah.
He's a real catch, that one.
Oh yeah. Bit of a lifesaver.
Not smart enough to turn into a barrel on his own.
so, how are we supposed to find a very average looking container like a chest?
When you see the container, you will know it. I will give you each a gem. And this is where he would say, you each have a gem. And that will help you find it. It will react when it is close.
Jim.
Yes,
Wait.
in your pockets.
Oh. How much is it worth?
To someone that it is not gifted to, nothing. To you,
Nice.
it could be quite valuable.
Hashtag binds on equip.
Yeah.
Sold.
Are you saying that you're sold on it, or that you've already found someone to buy it from you?
Well, I've already bought it for him for free. And clearly it's worth something to me, which means I'm walking away the winner here.
Can't argue with that logic.
You can't.
Jalurie looks at Tibelda. So, what do you think?
I don't know if we can trust him, but I think it's worth the risk.
I will
Cashew.
say that
I think it's an important question to ask. Why do you not go and find this chest by yourself?
he looks thoughtful for a moment. And perhaps a little sad. And he says, sometimes you can't do things for other people like you would want to.
But you can't do it for yourself.
I could, but what is done now is not for my survival.
That's pretty poignant there, Greenie.
It's very ominous.
Special. So, it was last seen in Oxrock. We need to find it, and you have no real details on how it might be discerned from any other container, right?
Aside from your jewel reacting when it is close.
Like close,
Okay.
like touching, or like within 30 feet, or...
The approximation would depend upon the intention of the individual and the power of the thing sought. I will say that it will react within at least 200 feet.
Lovely.
We gotta run through Oxrock, slapping this ruby on every box we find.
Sounds like
So while this conversation's going on, Octarion is just looking at Cashew waiting.
So,
Does this
how much?
container have a will of its own? Because you said depending on the intention of the individual.
Why would a container have its own intentions?
I don't know. Why would you say it depends on the intention?
Of the wielder of the gem
Ah,
and the power of the item or thing that you are seeking. the more powerful a thing, the farther away it will react.
React how? Like, is it gonna glow? Is it gonna explode?
Vibrate.
It usually will glow, but occasionally it has reacted differently depending on the individual who wields it.
So,
Seems perturbed by the nonchalant answer.
Cashew is rifling through your desk for a pen.
Hold on.
so in exchange for this container, what can we expect in return?
That would depend on you. If you wish to have monetary remuneration, your agreeance to partake in this adventure, this little quest, would mean that you would have free access, room and board, to the Inn of Planar Crossroads and the public areas of it. You would be able to stay here whenever it is present in your area. You also will be given a stipend of 1 gold to spend on your travels.
Sorry, don't mind while Cashew shuffles cards next to you.
I have come to expect it. And the reward will be another, shall we say, 19 gold to accompany the first one.
In a place with the silver standard, that's quite high.
I wish I knew if that was a lot of money for Dewey. I don't.
It's 200 gold pieces total.
Fair.
Probably the most lucrative level 1 quest you're going to find in any area.
I decline. Let's go and hunt boars instead.
Also, if you find you need more money while you are out and about, and you have already spent the single gold, you may speak with you may activate the jewel, and it will allow you to spend against your reward.
So you're saying that this jewel can conjure up gold?
If I allow it.
I see. I better not drop it then.
That would be good. For those curious, the jewel is... your jewel is a singular clear color. Very smooth. Very much like what Tommy calls those glass beads, dragon tears, or whatever you want to say. And yours is, of course, as I said, clear. It's about the same size as well.
Is that for everyone, or just...
It seems to be everyone's is the same color.
Okay.
Tibelda asks the Procurer, she's like, okay, so if I do this, can you find someone?
Would you like that to be your reward?
He says, yeah, if that's possible.
Then I think it is possible that you can do it.
Tibelda nods and looks resolved instead of nervous like she has the entire time.
Yeah, Jalurie will look at the Procurer and say, what about answers to particular questions that I might have about, I don't know, say my family, the Giant Shadow, whatever the heck happened in Milcian?
Those answers will be forthcoming in the soon-to-be months from where you are now. You might prefer to have a separate reward.
Well, I think this is a pretty good dealing arrangement. Wouldn't you say so, Cashew?
While Cashew was shuffling that deck of cards next to the Procurer, like you've seen him flip coins before, it's always 3 coins. Anytime he does, like when he flips coins, it's always 3 coins. When he rolls dice, it's always 3 dice. When he draws cards, it's always 3 cards. But these aren't tarot cards. because these divinations are weird and esoteric, and they don't seem to make any sense to anyone but him. And he puts down an ace of spades, a jack of diamonds, and a king of hearts. And he stares at it for a couple quiet seconds, while the rest of you talk and fiddle about the particulars of this deal. And he gets like this weirdly deep look of concentration on his face, and his brow furrows like he's thinking real hard. And then he looks at Octarion and nods once.
And if I do this, you'll give me what I need?
I will either give you the information that you seek, or I will give you the reward that you desire.
Good enough. You have my horse and bow. Octarion will extend his hand.
He would take yours as well. Give it a good clasp in the tradition of the Anulami Empire.
Okay. Well, that's good enough for me.
So, what are the details of this?
He scoots out and stands up. He takes you to a map. It has another map on it right now that you guys start to look at, but he flips really quickly so that it's not displayed the whole time. He flips it once, and as it comes back over, it seems to show the map that we are on now. It shows Kelligoth. And he says, you are currently here, in between Knob's Landing and Lordland.
Longer away from home than I last remember.
Were we supposed to... Is the map supposed to be different at the Roll20?
Different in what way?
Like, are we still supposed to be on the Interplanar Crossroads screen?
No.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I am.
Uh-oh.
You need to refresh then.
Yeah.
Because we haven't been on the Interplanar Crossroads for a little bit. I mean, we've been on the Interplanar Crossroads for a little bit, and now we're in the map.
Oh, page unresponsive. Wee.
Yay!
You are currently in between Lordland and Knob's Landing. The safest way would be to travel through Knob's Landing to Oxrock, though you are welcome to take any risks that you seem to believe worth taking.
Well, it's back to Oxrock, I suppose.
And if we don't manage to find this container?
He looks you up and down just a minute, and his eyes just seem to focus on you. I believe you will find it. However, should you wish, any of you, wish to not partake in this adventure anymore, you may simply crush.
Well, I certainly hope that we find it, but
Oh, yeah.
you never
No
know.
time limit. Why not?
I impose no time limit on it being found, though you may find that forces within the world itself will set their own limits.
No worldly force can stop me.
A fair confidence, I suppose.
Now let's all go to Milcian and get some free strawberries.
No, it is not a good idea.
Huh?
No, you don't want to go there. It's all...
Jalurie.
It's very gloomy.
It's real dark. I don't like it.
Who doesn't like strawberries? God, you guys are weird.
Even the evil guy likes strawberries.
Well, alright then. I guess we will prepare for the journey.
Sounds excellent. You will find that your rooms are already prepared to your specifications. You simply need to touch your jewel to the door that you wish to enter.
As Kane types fortunes into Roll20. Oh, I see. Okay.
I thought I was muted. I was wrong. Gonna be doing a lot of that this campaign, I think.
What, being wrong?
No, typing.
Oh, fair enough.
And reading fortunes, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to my mother's house and get an actual deck of tarot cards.
There you
For those not in the chat, our hard work will be rewarded in time if we are stalwart and reliable, was the fortune.
go. And there's one more.
Oh, the last bit is combined from the last 2 cards.
Traps or difficulties are not as difficult as they seem. There are solutions if we care to look for them.
If we cares to
If we cares to look for them. All right, some of it is written in his accent.
It sounded better in my head.
Sometimes you just put S's on words, okay?
So,
You may go back downstairs and start either today or tomorrow. It is up to your prerogative.
Toil, baby, toil. You should have just played a Draugr. Or a Durgar, I should say, not a Draugr.
Well, I assume that since the whole lizardmen probably aren't allowed, that Durgar would also be pushing it.
Yeah.
well,
Dwarf is easy. Dwarf is core. Every damn fantasy game has the dwarves statted out right away.
I will say that Draugr are not necessarily prohibited, but they're not very common. It's like Drow. There's one.
I trade with them all the time. I go way down deep below where my guy lives, and I'll steal some of their stuff, or they'll steal some of my stuff. We have a good thing going, me and the Black Dwarfs.
There you go. All right.
Now, do we have
Emotions.
access to the stables?
Yes, there's a door downstairs, both from inside, or you could go in from the outside. Jonathan does not care either way.
All right. Are we provided with horses or a wagon?
You and your wagon.
Wagons are handy.
Super
I'll
handy.
maintain that every campaign ever needs a wagon or a carriage or some kind of, like, just horses doesn't cut it.
We are not against loaning a wagon, though if it is destroyed, it will come out of your pay.
Oh, certainly.
Should I assume the same for fresh horses?
Fresh horses.
Yes, if we need to ride for 3 days, dwarf, we may need to change mounts.
You're not likely to need freshened horses, but if you find yourself in the need of them, and we are where you are, in the space and time where you are, then that is possible.
Octarion will nod and make his way to the stable to go see to it that his horse is ready to go.
Okay.
Jalurie is sort of lost in thought.
The Procurer will come beside you and kind of gesture you gently out, guiding you by the elbow and saying, most contemplation is best done either in private or over a preferred beverage.
Right.
She smiles and heads downstairs for another drink.
Okay.
Making sure that, she wants to see what Tibelda is doing first.
Tibelda's probably finally feeling confident enough to drink something. All right, I feel like it's not poison, I guess.
Fair enough.
All right.
Well, the rest of us certainly haven't keeled over.
He also finally turns to Cashew and is like, what's with the frickin' coins?
With the what?
The noise?
The coins.
The coins? They help me tell the future.
Like, are you a shaman?
No, this is very sweet of you.
He definitely, he's had the coins with him enough that he can sort of, play them between his fingers. I can't, because I'm a clumsy oaf, but Cashew can.
I can dream.
So that's what the characters are for, right? Doing stuff that we can't do. Like
That's
playing
insane.
coins
Yeah.
between the fingers.
Playing the drums. I definitely can't play the drums.
Where's Cashew's drum at this time, anyways?
Cashew's drum?
Strapped to his chest.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably
Just awkwardly slap it around as he walks around.
Boom, boom. He probably left it by the table.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat from a plate with a huge drum.
Yes.
Yes.
I have that sound effect in my sound effects.
I mean,
Yes.
So you guys-
Boom, boom.
I mean, you could have the drum as your plate, I suppose.
Oh no, that would ruin the leather. Nobody wants muscle juice on their drum.
Only the greasy stuff.
Can you imagine the smell in the middle of summer? Just sour muscle juice cooking in the heat.
Do you Cashew, was it? Do you play the drum?
play?
I mean, you carry it with you. I'm
Well,
assuming
no,
you
I
do.
mostly use it to scare off wolves in bed. Of course I play.
with sassy Cashew. I will say, as everybody starts to come back out, you don't come back out into an empty hall. You come back out into a rather bustling inn of Planar Crossroads.
Oh wow, we really missed the rush. Oh shit, my drum!
Is there any music going on?
There is currently a band on stage that is singing in a rather high voice. It's saying, "Welcome to the Planar Crossroads." Such a lovely place.
What I miss? I had to grab the last beer in the house. What I miss?
Yet more eagles appearing in our tabletop.
Yes. You guys come out to a very busy inn of Planar Crossroads with somebody down below, underneath the balconies where the stage is. So down below that, and they are singing, "Welcome to the inn of Planar Crossroads."
Such a lovely place.
And so the legend of Tika lives on.
Jalurie is probably.
Octar's just gibble gold eyes.
Well, you have to go downstairs to find out.
I suppose I will do that because I have to get my drum.
Yeah. Jalurie wants a drink. Another one.
All right. So you guys go back out, back downstairs, and Octarion finds that Jonathan has secured his horse, and it has been brushed and cleaned, and even seems to have been given a bath and refreshed, given fresh, good-looking hay, as well as a small bucket of grain to improve its mood.
Okay. How is my falcon? Because I am gonna, regardless of how bad it might be, I'm gonna commit to that being my first level class feat to get a second ancestry feat to get adopted, to be adopted by gnomes, so I can also have them familiar.
Okay.
Which
You're
should,
going to
I
get
don't,
familiar.
I don't know how exactly it's gonna work because we don't have characters, but it should be able to speak out the gate, I think.
Well, we
What
will
kind of
see.
bird it is.
Yeah.
If it was a crow or something, it probably could. We'll see.
It's
what
that's
the
something
stats
that
say.
the familiars can get from what I remember. But again, I don't see it right now, so I can't. Regardless, I'm gonna go let it fly around a little bit.
Okay.
It knows where home is, and probably go outside with it.
Mhm. You can easily do that. Jonathan has put it into a very spacious cage. Jonathan seems to have a little rookery at the end of the stables that is an extra dimensional rookery. So it's got a small cage door, several small cage doors, like 12 to 16 small cage doors that all lead to interdimensional cages that are able to let them move around and fly.
A little cage that opens up into like an aviary.
Pretty much.
Nice. I'd say Octarion will get his hawk, or his falcon rather, and let it go out and fly. Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna let my horse rest and just go outside and kind of follow it around, look around, get my bearings, think about everything that's just happened.
Octarion is new to Kalagoth, but he kind of looks around and he sees a dark splotch in the sky where the shadow that was mentioned before probably is. It seems to block out the stars that would be right there, as well as the mountain that you can see cutting around the edge of some of it.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that. Not good. Yeah, it's just a lot to contemplate, and he'd rather do it outside than in a crowded tavern somewhere.
Okay. Those that descend down the stairs and pay attention to the goings-on, it is definitely fuller now. People are going in and out, and the inn, as you're coming in, you see as you guys are coming down the stairs, you see a taller individual speaking with this individual while
oh, he's so fabulous.
Yeah, this individual, he seems to be a very brawny looking man that's chronically carrying a frying pan, and the form that you see seems to be one that is containing him, because his skin is red when you just kind of look at it, but if you pay attention, you see that red shifts underneath, so that it's like there's this thin layer that holds in this living flame.
It's like an ifrit in a man jar.
Yeah, kind of like that. Flame in a man jar. And the blue on his head and on his chin strap is not hair, it is flame. He seems to be talking with another individual about his size. They're both big men. Who's referencing over to a probably teenage range of tiefling female with very red skin.
I thought you said he's talking to somebody else about his size, like they're discussing. I'm big, you're big. You think you're
Look
big?
at how big I am.
I'm much big.
Yep. The person that's talking with who you guys think to be Calcifer the cook is a large man, very strongly built, with a breastplate. Seems to have a very clean breastplate, immaculately so. On the stage there are actually two goblins singing, one with gold eyes, one with red, a male and a female, and they seem really happy up on stage. They're backed up by a gnome and a human.
The noise Tommy just made, like you fulfilled his OTP.
You did it.
Yeah, Jalurie is paying more attention to the band than what's going on with the cook. She is entirely consumed with the music.
Okay, and
Do I find my drum? Is he down here?
you do find your drum. Jenkins kind of sees you come down and say, "Oh, you forgot this. Y'all forgot this." He sets it up on the thing.
Oh,
No
thank
running
you.
off without it.
Thank you, shiny
That'll,
blonde. Thank you, pointy blonde man. That's what I called him. Pointy blonde man.
Yeah. Jenkins will get in there someday.
Jalurie is probably
because
humming along
it was
with the
because he
music.
didn't know your name from the first time, and I don't think you introduced yourself to Cashew as Jenkins.
Well, he had met Jenkins at the same time he would come into the inn playing Crossroads, so technically they would have met before, but Jenkins is his name.
It takes a couple of times before it gets in there.
Thank you, Pointy Jenkins.
We're getting closer.
I didn't think. Well, I mean, I left it here because I thought we were gonna go upstairs and then come back down. But like, I mean, who steals a drum?
Nice drum.
Right?
It's very big.
It's very big. It'd be very difficult to walk out of without anybody noticing.
I say, I think I could probably live inside it.
It's maybe.
He has these two like half drinks that he's mind swept after walking around this room a little bit, and he gives one to Cashew. Enjoy. Minimal backwash, I think.
After about
Go ahead.
I was gonna say after about a drink or two in, Jalurie is probably tearing up at whatever comes on, whatever the band plays. Doesn't matter what it is.
she's tearing up. Okay,
well, knowing Adam, it's all classic rock from the 80s.
Yep.
Well, they start singing
About the strange place called Verisia.
No. I'm going to save heartstring hits for later.
Okay, got it.
Patience. This is a homebrew. In my homebrew, I can do stuff.
It's true. You do whatever you want. Blow all the licenses out of the water.
The song that is being sung is the Red-Eyed Goblin, who has been revealed as Tika, because the announcer, who is a rat folk, is kind of functioning as their manager, I guess you would say, inside the inn. It says, "Yes, everyone, yes, Tika and Gibble.
She's done well.
Now for Tika's solo." And
it feels like segregation. You've got all the small races as the entertainment.
Hey,
and then there's you.
Yeah, and then there's Cash. I'm not gonna jump in. You know, you shouldn't interrupt another performer's show.
Is that what the coins say?
All right, smartass.
Oh man, you need that big
that tune go?
distinct bass.
Kidding, currency. So
That's 3 tails. Eat it. No. It's a bad idea.
No subwoofers left in this universe. You're our only hope, Cashew. Drop the bass.
So Tika
clapping as the announcer's going on and hollering.
So Tika kind of gets the mic up, goes, "There's a port on a western bay, and it serves 100 ships a day. Normal sailors pass the time around and talk about Magnemar."
there it is.
Used to the chorus, you know.
Looking glass.
"Brother, you're a fine girl. Where the good path you do."
All right, you gotta stop that. I hate that song.
Maybe you should get up there and interrupt it, Kane, with your drum or something.
Goblin covers and everything, so I'm very feigningly interested.
Jalurie is actively like bawling at this point.
Somebody said too much to drink.
Is drunk again.
Are you okay, Yellow? I've got a list here of all of your names, which I will now pronounce incorrectly. You got Jarrko, and Tabitha, and Jello, and Octagon, and Margarine. They get worse as you go.
Makes sense because I'm harder to burn than butter.
Oh man. Jalurie she's fine. She's just very into the music.
Okay, it's a little weird that you're speaking in the third person.
Oh, sorry.
I do that sometimes when
I've been drinking. Sometimes Cashew talks about himself in the third person. Sometimes Cashew talks about himself when he's not been drinking.
It's just so touching. And she's like crying.
Tibelda just kind of pats her and drinks her wine.
I see, I get it. This very emotional song about boats.
It's not about boats, it's about treating your boat like a woman.
I see it's a very emotional song about boop in your boat.
Right, to each their own.
It would be hilarious if Cashew purposefully bleeps out his own words like that.
I'm going to adopt that as a habit.
When he gets to the bad words, his eyes get a little wide and he just beeps real loud. Fate prevents him from using Noctis language.
He's so innocent to his very core.
It's a curse of decency that Mama Nutt put on him before he left.
Oh boy, mine's ever swearing.
The profanity filter curse.
Like, yeah, after the peanut incident, it was just like, that got out of hand. Peanut ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, 100 years, nobody can cuss.
I think we might want to gather someplace quiet so we can plan ahead what we're gonna do about this containment.
I mean, that sounds like a smart thing that you would do, Jarrko. It's just we're getting the box. I feel like we just go there and we get it.
Right, but should we, for example, leave in the morning till?
Well, I don't know about you, but she might need a minute.
And he points over to Shrivello.
The mudblood is still crying. It's amazing.
Jalurie.
She hears this and just sort of like wipes her eyes, pulls out a handkerchief, wipes her nose, goes, "Oh, yeah, it's probably best we talk about what the plan is, but I don't want to leave the music behind. It's so sad."
I'm sure it will be right here when you come back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk things over.
Okay. Would you like to do this? Your rooms would probably be the most appropriate place to do this quietly, to do the discussion.
Whose room are we gonna be?
My room, because it smells the best.
By that, do you mean it smells the most like you?
The best.
That's a yes. That's a hard yes.
All right. You guys head up to the room.
It would probably be good for
go-
Octarion to not be outside anymore because we are making plans.
So,
Yeah, okay. I'll go get Octagon. Don't worry.
Don't get lost.
I can't. Cashew doesn't get lost. Cashew never been lost a day in his life.
Where's the door again?
There's got to be a hole out of this place somewhere.
All right. You see Octarion outside messing around with his animals.
Octarion.
Cashew.
A very measured response.
They're gonna talk about how we're gonna go get the box tomorrow. You should come. Talk
Well,
about
thank you.
box.
Thank you for letting me know about Box, Cashew. I will. My falcon should be smart enough as a familiar to find its way back to the river, and I'll make my way back into the inn. I just have the 1 gold. Is that right?
You have 1 gold allotted. It's in your purse right now since you guys have accepted.
Okay.
This is a silver-based currency, so that's like 10 gold pieces in advance.
Gotcha. 'Cause I was gonna go tip the band, but I don't want to tip them if I have literally a coin.
You can get change.
Yeah, I'll just go make change and I'll give them 10 silver.
10 silver is 1 gold.
That's 1 gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, never mind.
Amicable post.
I don't know how money works. I just use the gold standard and
I'm
make
gonna
characters that kill things.
I'm gonna go
Sure
get
was that.
change for a gold so that I can give them a gold.
Yeah,
I like
let me
one
take
of
it out of my
the people that pays for all
Patreon.
their crafting quarters.
Yeah. Oh, you bring up the meta. You bring up the meta. Go ahead, Tommy. See what happens. See what
I did
happens.
bring
when
it
we
to
get-
the. Yeah, it's gonna be a real long game. So we'll do. I'll just get I'll call it 3 silver,
Okay. So you now have 7 silver.
7 silver, and then make my way up to the rest of the party.
Okay. You guys meet at the top of the stairs. Whomever shall touch their gem to the door, it basically acts like a room key to your room.
Okay.
Okay.
There's you can pick 3 from 3 to 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 doors up top. So you just pick one,
I was gonna say, how do we know which one is? Does it matter? Is that part of the inn? Could we all just use the same door and just procedurally hit our crystals and go into our own room?
Yeah.
One would assume.
Blowing my mind, man. So yeah, I guess I'll do the old knockaroony with my fancy rock.
All right.
And I open.
As per the statement by the Procurer, you open up your door, and you see a room perfectly fitted out, including a small shrine to your deity, right there in the room. It seems to be made completely of stone, and you're not super fond of big, spacious skies, so there's no real window.
Oh, this sounds perfect. The perfect mixture of abrasively hot and annoyingly cold. He runs in and jumps on his bed, which is just a block. You can really feel it in your spine.
Gotta love a good firm mattress.
He sets down his bag, and as it falls open, you notice that it is full of cobalt skulls, and then he crosses his legs and says, "Alright, we need to talk business."
And rocks. Cobalt skulls and rocks. No other luggage.
Yeah, rocks and skulls. And a bag of money, which is my money. It's not very full right now. But we're going to fix that.
All right. So there you guys go.
I think...
Plan away.
I think we
you
have
want me to switch you to the map?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I think we have to address the very obvious shrine in the room.
Oh, what about it? You like it?
It is a little bit concerning.
Offensive.
That the banished one is, well, prayed to.
Dawi are Dawi, dwarves be dwarves. I'm not gonna go chaining you up and making you haul anything around now. I don't even have scales on you.
I'm very confused.
Attaboy. Any case, we have a plan to make.
Right. But I'm saying that it is banished from the Pantheon. So I'm kind of wondering how it is that you are having this shrine in your room.
Oh, I don't know. This is the other one I came in here. I didn't make it. I appreciate it. It looks like I could get a good flame going on it.
Right.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever actually seen one outside of any of the deep holes beneath the Riverhaven Mountains.
I'm just very interested in knowing why the dark one is your patron.
Power appeals. Besides, we always rolled up, we grew up learning you haul the chain, and when everyone hauls the chain, the block will move. And if someone stops hauling the chain, or if their hands get too bloody, then they just need to double down. And once you learn how to double down, then you get the real rewards. And those are the rewards we go after. Besides, I'm not a cleric. I don't really care.
It doesn't really matter now, does it?
That's a good dwarf.
So have you abandoned the family of Dora?
Yeah, well, the whole family has abandoned we all kind of live together. Well, used to. Not many around. Mostly been skirmishing outside the marshes or getting eaten up by kobolds. Then I crack them back. And I can crack them good. Now, who wants to talk business?
You just trying to... Stop asking me about my past!
It's grim and boring.
I'm the serious black dwarf! Fuck up!
Jarrko would know that the dwarves that live on this far west spur of the Riverhaven Mountains usually don't have that good of a relationship with the rest of the main body of the dwarves in the Riverhaven Mountains, including the royal family or those involved with higher ups. Mm-hmm. They kind of got kicked out for several generations ago for the whole not exactly worshipping the bright and sunny gods of the dwarves.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's why they live where it's so lovely and toxic.
Just meeting Mulgren kind of paints the whole picture, really.
Perfect. I with, you know, maybe unnecessary behind the scenes, I kind of wanted to do a Korgan blood axe kind of thing, because he did that in Baldur's Gate 2, and I never even thought of a dwarf just being a part of me asshole before, and I think it works. I think it's a lot of fun.
I mean, Cashew hasn't written him off yet. You got one head. That's as far as he's concerned, you're a dick. But there's some good in there. There's something he can not make use of, because Cashew doesn't think like that. But like, there's some benefit to be had from knowing you.
You have one head, so you're half good.
That's all you need.
So,
As far as Octarion is concerned, it's all many paths to one goal, and without evil there can be no good. So Octarion will tolerate what he may not even understand in the form of Joskar. I don't know how super common that deity is.
Not very.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
yeah.
He was a dwarven god, already not common. It was kicked out of the dwarven pantheon, super not common.
Virtually unheard of on the surface, at least by traditional Pathfinder Galarian standards, and I'm pretty sure for the most part it's just outcast dwarves or Durgar.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Dwarven Pantheon goes, I think Torag is the one that non-dwarves would know about, but probably not the rest.
Pain and toil will bring victory. And money!
Alright, I think we can leave this discussion to the side, but I definitely want to bring it up at a later date. It's very...
I'd be offended if you didn't.
Right. So, tomorrow is a brand new day, so I was thinking perhaps we could grab the wagon and the horses and get moving at the first light. Is this something we can agree on?
I mean, if you need a wagon.
It's. Are we going straight to Crossroads?
Not just the horse and wagon, like other stuff, like fighting stuff, like magic stuff, maybe.
Like a stuff you hit people with, you know, and it's
I think you need to be a little bit more precise with what you're talking about.
Can we snap our fingers 3 times and summon the Procurer and have him sober her up again?
No, you gotta say his name.
We have to turn off the light, go in the bathroom, we have to spin around 3 times, then we all chant the Procurer's name.
Cashew will open the door and lean out into the hallway and be like, "Pointy Jenkins, can we have some coffee?"
Some coffee.
all right.
Black, no sugar. She's really fucked up right now.
Bring me a bun while you're at it.
Sorry, she's really fucked up right now.
Gotta stay consistent.
Y'all, you remember what Mama Nutt said, Cashew.
It's not voluntary, it happens on its own.
Hey, last time she busted in here to correct you, it made a big old mess.
And made a very high CR encounter that Adam can pull out of his back pocket later.
There you go, Dryad Matriarch, Patagonian fertility goddess. Looks like a Todoroki tree. It's not a good time.
Right, so you're basically saying we need some equipment. And
Yeah,
that
that's
is...
it. We just got a whole bunch of... We just got a gold.
Right.
We should be able to spend that and prepare ourselves for whatever we're about to do. Getting that box thingy.
We
Container, that's what he called it.
We are fairly close to the Nob's landing. We could probably purchase whatever we need once we get there.
Just so you guys have a reference, 4 blocks is 1 day-ish.
Okay, 4 squares. So,
Oh, pardon me, 2 squares. 2 squares is 1 day-ish. Because you guys made it to Milsea in 1.5 days.
now I happen to know that there might be bandits on the road, but it shouldn't be a problem.
And where are we right now in relation to Oxrock?
I made a little mark. It's in purple.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for you guys a token.
What are you thinking the odds are that this box is leaving?
I mean, he said that it would leave if we were too slow. And if we leave at the first light, I don't think that would be too slow.
As long as we can head by Knob's Landing, we might even pass it on the road.
We're about 4.5 days travel from Oxrock. Maybe less on horses. Although we need a really big horse for Cashew.
Or like 4 horses roped together.
We need a
That's why we need the wagon, not so Alex's character can have a place to ride in style / teleport to eventually. No, it's just to haul Cashew.
What?
Cashew's feet hurt!
That's a question. Why aren't there any dire horses?
I'm sure there are. I feel like dire is an inherited template you can apply to any mammal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire penguin. I actually think dire penguin has happened.
Dire corgi was definitely something we had to deal with.
So as far as dangers on the road, I suppose we should perhaps prepare for the worst. Which means that we probably need to know what we can do about the possible ambush.
Well, if there is an ambush, where's it? It's gonna happen somewhere. They can't just like patrol the whole road and ambush everybody from here to Mob's Landing. Like, there should be like a spot that they have set up to ambush people, right?
It's right there. It's right where that token just showed up.
Can you give us control of it?
I can just momentarily. You guys are about right there in that square.
So we lay an ambush?
No, I was more thinking that we perhaps should introduce our capabilities and preferences when it comes to, well, survival in the harshest of the ways.
I do survive.
You haven't noticed it yet, but like when he was mind sweeping the bar earlier, Mulgren just got shit-faced.
Oh, he's just not very smart, but also probably a little drunk.
Cashew does a little magic. I play the drum. I know that doesn't sound very impressive, but like it's pretty good. It's a real good drum.
Yes, it's a very steady beat.
I call him Big Pete. He's been keeping the beat.
And now we have cause to eventually give the drum sentience.
Sentient item.
Yes,
That's happened before in this in the homebrew.
I don't have how you say a source book from which to draw a spell list, but it's there. There's magic and I do it.
I suppose like Cashew performs a little magic, like to demonstrate for you. I'm not sure how to emulate a
Dancing
first
lights.
level bard spell, but the way he performs magic, since he's an occult caster in Pathfinder 2nd edition, is actually kind of similar to the way Octarion and Jarrko have seen Cashew perform his little card readings and his divinations and his coin flippings. They don't seem to they don't look like how you would perform normal magic, but nevertheless they replicate a similar effect.
It's more like a mundane ritual.
Randomly plays drum, then
Kind of.
music
That's
happens.
kind of that was the description I got of it from what I listened to and read when they were talking about how occult magic works in 2nd edition Pathfinder. It's basically occult casters are the kind of magic users that dig through like piles and piles of little esoteric, eclectic rituals, and one out of every 20 that I find might actually work, but that's still like I figured out how to open up a planar rift from here to the Feywild using like baking soda, vinegar, and a megaphone.
You've gone through so many different candles and little pieces of paper, and I gotta paste this to my head, and then I have to hit the drum 3 times.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's a sort
Just
of like
as many occultist implements as you can get your hands on.
It's a sort of like occultist ritualism that people don't really share because, like, given the proper resources, time, and study, any idiot could do this, and that's super dangerous.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. So heading out in the morning after you buy stuff.
Yeah. We have magic from
Wait,
you.
we can buy stuff here?
You can.
That
I mean, you could ask. You could ask, but
That would
run
be-
into the same thing. It takes 2 days to get to Knob's Landing. So.
Yeah, it would be best to have stuff prepared for the trip if we could buy stuff here, but I don't know if that's really an option considering we're at a bar or an inn.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
lot
we could
of,
buy food and stuff, but not like weapons, I don't think.
there's a lot
We
of,
had
lot of
teleported
traffic.
into the sky.
True. That is very true.
Want me to go down and ask around for some hardware? Someone's bound to got something lying around.
Well, as for me, and he takes out his holy symbol of the forge fire. I carry the will of the forge fire, which entails that I have the capabilities of, well, the fire, the forge. I will, of course, ask for the blessings of them to help us on the way, should it be needed.
I appreciate your promise of true and effective aggression.
As far as capabilities goes, Tibelda just like pulls out her great axe and is just like, I hit.
Simple but effective, I'm sure.
Wait a second. Jarrko, what do you use if you're gonna hit something?
It really depends on what the rule book says I will be using. But it will probably be a great axe. Hopefully.
Just everyone is great axes.
I was gonna say,
Fingers crossed.
yes, Mulgren's gonna be using a great axe. She's gonna have a great axe. Jarrko's gonna have a great axe.
Everybody's gonna have a great axe.
Something's gonna open a door and then just get leveled like a tree.
I think there's a common theme in this group that there's one preference above all else.
I don't know about that.
I like you guys already.
If you manage to get yourself hit when you're hitting other things, I can fix that. That's what I did.
Out the door again.
Coffee!
What?
It's already up there. Look around the room.
Stupid magic food.
It's like look, everyone stops and does a 360. Like,
Oh, there!
oh, coffee.
Cashew pulls like a.
It's like in Jalurie's hand and she just hasn't noticed it yet.
Oh, well, drink it then, damn it. If you're not gonna let me give it to you, just drink it.
Just take the cup and you put it to your face. You open up that like the bottom hole. And just put it inside.
I also asked for a bun, but
Well, what does this coffee taste like? What kind of coffee is this?
Pretty good.
He's
coffee.
prepping for his
Strong.
breakfast one shot.
Huh?
It's a strong black but good brewed coffee. The beans were good.
it's good bean water.
Tastes like cigarette.
I bet you don't even smoke.
That's some strong coffee. Where's the whiskey?
There's no whiskey. You're so drunk already.
That is the key to a good coffee.
I think we all
I'd
can
give
agree.
you a little zhuzh, but I'd snap your shit right off.
I think we can all agree that yellow should not be near any of the alcoholic beverage we might be having with us.
Not that much, anyways.
I'll try my best to not entertain myself by abusing that fact.
It would be appreciated.
What'd you say? What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Nothing happy.
Okay. Takes another sip.
What about you? You. He's pointing at Octarion. You.
All right. I'd like to shoot an arrow as close as I can to his ear without hitting him. I don't have dice, and natural ones are really mean in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Shoot him right in the fucking eye.
Just do it.
Well, Mal's gonna be in and out of it, so
Spontaneous.
it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, no, he's I mean, I'm gonna play to the truest of the guy, but I purposefully made him headstrong in the knowledge of if he died, it would not be the worst. So,
Fair.
Mulgren's going all out always.
All
So
right.
Octarion, he hears this, and Octarion feels like he's being called out, so he just draws a bow, draws an arrow, as close as I can, but like right here.
Oh! Respect.
The customs are different where he's from, I'm sure.
Octarion! I told
sorry,
you not
Ludo.
to shoot my friend.
Hey,
You don't even know he got one head, Cashew. One head.
One hit, that's better than no heads.
He said.
Perfect.
He said
You
octopus,
didn't
right?
get any hits, and I still friend with you.
Didn't get any hit wrong.
All
Okay.
seem capable.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I just flipped it now. You actually didn't get any hits.
He said Octarion's name right, Cashew.
So, one last proverbial golem in the room.
So much worse than it is.
What do we all want? If we bring that box back, what are we getting?
I think the pay is individual.
Cashew want to know where his brothers are.
It shouldn't affect what the others are picking.
You're probably right. He's already bent reality enough around us for us to know that he can. But let it be said now in the stone that I don't split rewards.
Well, you get your own.
Perfect.
Alright, it is up to you if you want to split what is yours.
We'll be seeing what else is going to be mine while we're traveling. Because I think there's a lot of things around here that could be mine.
Don't get your hopes up.
They're never down.
I don't know what to say to that.
Alright, get out of my room. Everyone, we're done here. Get out of my room or we'll have a pillow fight.
Picks up a rock.
Yeah, I was gonna say rock.
Run! Everyone out. Business done. I need my beauty sleep.
It's Mulgren time now.
It's Mulgren. Mulgren time is me time. Me time's Mulgren time. Go, get.
Yes, alright. You better go to Jonathan and tell him we need a wagon and horses tomorrow.
We'll find a stable. All the horses are sleeping anyway.
Jalurie's making some faces. She's drinking the coffee still.
Cashew's gonna go back downstairs.
Yeah, she's on her way back down to listen to the band some more.
Okay. Cashew cast vocal alteration, and now he
We don't know
sounds
if
like
that's a spell.
it
Hey, wait a minute.
is in first edition Pathfinder, and I'm using it as a patch over.
What do you sound like?
He sounds like a young Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5.
Yes. He's gonna sing "Want You Bad"
Yeah, he's... How did you know?
because I knew. Be perfect.
Yeah, specifically the version from the Ed Sullivan Show in 1969.
This,
Okay.
it's the best ogre I've ever seen.
This will distract Jalurie from heading downstairs, and she will listen to Cashew instead. And she'll be fighting back tears.
Pointy Jenkins. Cashew would like to sing a song.
All right. Hold on. And he kind of motions over. The rat folk comes up, hops on the counter, and kind of talks to him. All right. Sure, they didn't break anyway. Halftime.
That's fine. I'm not actually gonna sing it. I can't do my young Michael Jackson.
No, you brought it up. Brought it up.
My young Michael Jackson is really bad.
With great bard comes great responsibility, Kane.
Yeah. Don't volunteer your young Michael Jackson. Then.
Yeah, you set this
No?
up for yourself.
I just wanted a giant gray moron that sounded like a young Michael Jackson.
But what does that sound like, Kane? I don't understand what that sounds like.
Oh, well, it's magic,
Yeah,
so it sounds like
so-
Michael Jackson.
But what is that? What does Michael Jackson sound like?
So you're able to have the floor all to yourself, and everybody looks at you, expectantly. There's a whole wide range, the most diversity that Cashew's probably ever seen. There's lizard folk
You want
there.
me? This is how you make someone never play a fucking bard again.
Good.
Hey, the person that plays the bard should expect this type of stuff if they're gonna say, "Hey, I want to sing on the stage."
I just want to play the drum and give people buffs. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. You please let me back into your heart, and I know. That's all you
Good.
get.
You get a hero point when we get our keys.
Nice.
Man, I was gonna say Octarion has a horsehair fiddle and would join in, but I feel like if I say that now, you think I'm hero point fishing. Also, damn it, I should have said it faster.
Yeah.
Also, where's your fiddle?
Probably on my saddle. Yeah, as much as I carry it around along with the bow and the mace or sword and the shield.
No, I don't
and
mean
the armor.
Octarion's fiddle. I mean your fiddle.
Oh, in Marshall, and has more strings. Give me 3 hours. I'll be right back.
Oh, now we gotta have it for next session, so just in
Okay,
case.
I'll see what I can do. Something the Octarion can gent.
I'll learn how to sing "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" in Cashew's voice.
When you get the shiny fiddle made to go, that you the devil gets it so.
Oh, the devil went down to Georgia. He was the boss of steel.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to accomplish before you guys get the well? Jarrko is going to get the wagon procured, so.
No, I proved my medal, sir. I have accomplished what I wanted.
There you go.
Jalurie enjoys the performance and she tears up again.
Tibelda looks ever more concerned about Jalurie.
Just this emotionally brittle girl.
That's just music.
Ogre's got curlers in his beard, and he has ash smeared on his face and 2 silver coins on his eyes. He's just loving it.
All right. You go out to Jonathan. He says, yeah, what you need, Jarrko?
The Procurer said that we could have a wagon and a couple of horses. So that's what I came here for.
He looks at you and says, the Procurer said you could have them, or you could use them.
Right, details. We could borrow.
That sounds more like... Alright.
Right. We
He
need
stops
them.
brushing the Dragonine that he was cleaning up, and he says, go back to your pen.
We need them for tomorrow, first light, if it's possible.
Oh, it's always possible. What you wanting? You wanting a cart? You wanting a wagon? You wanting deluxe? You wanting non-deluxe? It's all gonna have to be insured and stuff like that by your pay. So.
Right. Perhaps we can take
Uber
something.
X to Oxrock.
I think if we have something simple, that would be fine.
Well, we got a simple cart, he says. This way. And so
Right.
you go around and then
Something
follow
that could
them all.
fit 6 people.
6 people. Oh, that's gonna have to be a bit larger. So, you want 6 people to stay in the wagon?
Well, we're 6 people traveling.
Oh, so you guys are gonna sleep out off the wagon. Then, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought you were wanting like an extra dimensional wagon, and that would have been like outside of your insurable range. I'm pretty sure. So
It sounds very, very fancy. I'll take your word for it.
Too bad none of us are playing alchemists.
So you go in there, look around, and he has a few that would fit into the range you're looking for. He has a covered wagon, or he has a cart, and then there's a wagon that has no cover. It's up to you.
Let's take the cover. We have anything in blue?
Guess I can get somebody to come in here and whatever that is, to get it to work right. Want it blue?
If it's not rubber.
Electric blue.
Ooh, electric blue. Oh. all right. We'll you want the whole wagon or just the cover?
No, I was thinking the wagon is blue and the cover is white.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that, I guess. He can always he can always change it back if he doesn't want it that way.
All right. Well, I think
so
that
I'll
was
put your
that.
name.
Yes.
I'll write that down there.
Jarrko Hewitt.
Jarrko Hewitt. Oh, I did it right. Did you hear? Ooh, I should practice more often. Jarrko Hewitt. Oh, I should do that some more. He starts to mumble to himself. Jarrko Hewitt. Put your name there. The little halfling looks like a boy. Just running around, walking around, starting to put stuff on. Are you wanting to have it fully stocked, or are you just wanting to have it?
I think we need it stocked. We need provisions for at least perhaps a week.
A week's provisions on the car? That's gonna be 5 silver.
That's all right.
All right, ain't gonna be nothing special. Just saying.
As long as it can fill our tummies, it's okay.
All right. What do you want to pull it? He says as you're walking away again.
I assume you have horses. Is there anything else?
We've got horses, we've got boars, we've got wolves, we've got dragons, we've got... Yeah, we got boars.
I'll take the boars.
Okay. They eat more food, so that's going to be a bit more on the cost side, but...
It's probably worth it.
Okay, so that's going to be another silver just to make sure they got enough stuff in there. So you're insuring this for the wagon plus 6 silver.
That's fine. I'll pay you in advance if you can split the gold.
Oh, yeah. Sure, I guess you can. Bites it. Oh, it's Procurer's gold. Okay. Alright, just taps it. He takes it and he goes to this plate that he has on the wall. It's nailed to the wall. It's like an iron plate, and underneath it there's like a little small cup-sized bucket. And he takes the gold piece to it and he taps it against the metal that's hanging on the wall, and it drops into silver, and he gives you just gives you back your appropriate amount of silver.
Well, thank you very much. Jonathan,
yep.
Was it?
Yeah, no, it's like Jonathan.
Right, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Well, thank you for your help then. We'll see you in the morning.
Alright, I'll see ya. As he goes back to stroking, goes back, gets the coarse brush, and says, okay, it's your turn. You see a clawed hand reach out, pick the, not a clawed hand, a clawed neck reach out, undo the lock on another stall, and it comes out a very relatively small but large to him drake, and it kind of flushes down, nuzzles, and goes across the scales.
He walks big-eyed out of the stable.
Jalurie, after a little bit, will ask the barkeep about weapons and stuff, see if there's any equipment that they can get while they're there.
Well, howdy. I suppose you could probably find some. There's either probably someone in the room here that can get you some, or perhaps just talking with the Procurer, he might be able to set you up against your account. It's up to you. You can always wait till you get where you're going. Just depends. I don't expect him to have just whatever you want. It's probably going to be pretty bare bones. He doesn't usually just throw things at people for nothing.
But what about borrowing against the account? He mentioned something about that and bare bones. Like how bare bones are you talking?
Oh no, you just have to ask him.
Okay. She'll go and talk to the Procurer then. Thank you, Jenkins.
Yep. No problem. So you go up and you want to talk to the Procurer?
Yeah. She'll knock on whatever door she thinks he's in.
Okay. So you knock on the door. It doesn't seem to yield anything necessarily. Just a door. Doesn't seem to open up, and no sound comes from within.
No sound comes from within. Hello? She'll sort of crack the door open a little bit, poke her head in.
Okay, and your intention is to find the Procurer?
Yes. If she has to, she'll put the... Huh?
As you open the door, a face meets yours. It seems to come out of the dark that's there, and it says,
She jumps back a little bit.
"Can I help you?"
Is it the Procurer's face?
Seems to be a hooded green figure.
I was interested in maybe getting some equipment for the road ahead. I was told you might be able to help.
Why, do I look like an item shop?
Jenkins said you might have something that I could borrow against the account.
I think you've come a little too early. Try again next time. He closes the door.
She looks befuddled, then heads over to a room to go to bed.
Okay.
Right, so I've got a wagon for us. So we're all set with provisions and everything. All we need to do is just get up in the morning. It shouldn't be a problem, right?
Yeah, probably.
I'll come and get you, Cashew, if you sleep too much.
I'm not
That should
worried
be
about
fine.
me.
If everybody is set, then
That sounds like yes.
Yep.
all right. The day goes by. The night goes by. Everyone rests well, and you guys pack up. And you hear a little bit of back and forth in the kitchen as you start to leave the next day. There's the little tiefling girl comes out of the kitchen. Seems to be carrying a picnic basket, and she's about, if you were to give it human years, because in this setting they do age slower. So if you were getting to give it human years of maturity, she's probably 14-ish looking, and she comes out and says, this is from the Procurer. He says best wishes on the journey and enjoy your breakfast and all that.
Ooh, what is it?
It's food.
It's the provisions that I ordered for us.
A little on top of that. I don't know. He just said Calcifer just said to bring it out.
That's very kind.
What's in it?
Like I said, food.
Jalurie will...
Apples, pies, cakes.
I know there's a few things in there. There's one. The only thing in there that I made was the juice. So that's it. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cashew will take it from her.
Okay.
You guys are going to be so excited. You just have to call it in for now.
Already am. Oh, am I ever excited?
Okay. As you guys get all done, and she goes, you guys start to leave out, and you start to get into the blue wagon, and she's called back in. Calcifer says, Maria, get back in here. Your lessons aren't finished yet. And so she runs back in.
Only 2 people here who know who that is.
Hey.
I know who that is. I kind of pay attention when you guys talk about that.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Isn't it wonderful? We got boars to pull it.
I do like.
Like Big Pig.
It cost extra, but it was totally worth it.
Why would you pull it with pigs?
Because they are nature's most humble creature. Next to me.
I'm not sure you know what humble means.
I sincerely regret not converting Aiden to Pathfinder 2nd Edition to play alongside that dwarf, because it would have been amazing.
Next to me?
Next
I
to
always
me!
thought it had something to do with being robust and delicious.
Cashew will keep that in mind.
All right.
Octarion is going to ignore the wagon and go to the stable, grab his horse, and start riding in the direction of Oxrock, assuming the party follows.
Oh, he's gone.
The party doesn't follow.
It is. Oh, he's left. He's gone.
All right, brand new system. We got this.
All right.
Right. How do you make a pig go forward?
As you get your boar-drawn blue wagon to go forward.
You put a Tengu in front of it, and the boar will attack the Tengu instinctively, and it'll be an encounter that's way too hard for them to handle.
Until somebody sleeps the darn thing.
Until somebody sleeps the darn thing.
Well, if there's nothing else you guys want to try and do this session of RP, we can call it for tonight.
Sounds good.
Because by next time, everybody should have their rules.
Yes.
On my way.
Build a dude I will.
Build a dude.
All right. Thank you, travelers, for stopping by. And, as always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.